What's good, everybody? Glad you can make it back to check out the third episode of the Tyrone.tv sports vlog. Excuse me. It's been a long day. My name is Ty. I'm your host of the show once again. Today I'm going to get into just a few topics. Going to be a pretty short video regarding the Bills and the NFL, of course, the Knicks game last night and injury to KP. I'm going to talk about the Mets and a little bit. Talk a little bit about free agency, and lastly, I'm going to wrap it up with the Sabres and give a little preview of the game for Friday night. All right, so let's get right to it. First thing to talk about is the Bills. Charles Clay, little bit of an injury update. He's going to be expected to play Sunday against the Saints. And as I mentioned in the previous vlogs, it's going to be a huge addition and a return for the Bills. And with regard to him being an X factor in the offensive scheme, he's going to be much needed in the red zone. Along with Kelvin Benjamin, I think it's gonna make a good 1-2 punch and a couple of good options, or a couple of good extra options, I should say, for Tyrod Taylor. And it's also going to open up the field for Shady and those in the rest of the guys. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how the rest of the week goes. Hopefully there aren't any setbacks with regard to his injury, and he can get back on the field and help us to a victory on Sunday. So I'm looking forward to that. All right, so tonight's game, Thursday night game, is a matchup, NFC West matchup between the Seahawks and the Cardinals. Now, Seahawks are coming off a very, I want to say, pretty ugly loss to the Redskins last week, 17-14. Kirk Cousins, he didn't do anything for me fantasy wise. I'm if you watched the video, I think it was the first episode, I talked a little bit about how I kind of screwed up on taking him out of putting him in my lineup instead of leaving Carson Wentz in there. I don't know, these sometimes when you're watching these pregame shows, they kind of get into your head a little bit. I'm thinking, the Denver defense, they're pretty good. But no, bad mistake, big mistake. But he did lead his team to a real victory, to a victory over the Seahawks. So Seahawks defense is still playing extremely well. I don't think they'll ever not play well. I mean, against the Texans the week prior, and that was my rationale behind taking Cousins, was that Seahawks defense struggled a little bit, but the Houston Texans offense, and I know I'm kind of getting off subject, but their offense with Deshaun Watson in was off the chart. I don't think any team in the league could stop them. So with that said, that was a decision I made, but that's another story. Kirk Cousins still led them to a victory, and the Seahawks are now sitting at 5-3. Heading into the Thursday night's game against Arizona, who's at 4-4. The Cardinals are coming off a 20-10 victory over the 49ers. Adrian Peterson had another good game since joining the Cardinals. I think he's going to play a huge role in this game Thursday. Can the Seahawks defense, can their front seven slow him down and keep him in check? That's going to be a huge factor in the game. Also, is with Arizona playing at home, Thursday night game, will the Seahawks will they have that advantage over the Seahawks? Another thing on the offensive side of the ball that I think Arizona, is a question is Larry Fitzgerald. Will the Arizona quarterback be able to get Larry Fitzgerald the ball and get him involved in the game? going forward. So it'll be an interesting game. I think in the end the Seahawks will prevail. This is going to be my first pick of the of the Tyrone.TV sports vlog NFL picks. I have the Seahawks coming into this game. They're gonna be a little bit, sluggish in the beginning, I think, but in the end, I think the Seahawks. I think Russell Wilson's gonna make more plays than the Arizona quarterback, and I'm looking at a Seahawks victory, 26-23 Thursday night. So let's see how that goes with that. All right. The next thing we'll announce is again picks on Friday. I'm gonna pick the rest of the games on Friday. I've already made my picks, but I'm gonna make them. I'm gonna talk about them a little bit tomorrow. I think that's gonna be the trajectory of the show tomorrow. I'm probably just gonna talk about that. Have the whole show dedicated to NFL picks instead of going in too much on the other stuff, and then I'll pick that back up on Saturday. So good, So looking forward to that, and hope you guys will tune in for that. All right, so Knicks in the NBA. Last night, Kristaps Porzingis did not play last night due to an injury, I believe, to his elbow and knee. I want to say. A little bit. I believe that's what the injuries were, but they don't appear to be serious. The Knicks lost last night to the Magic. I don't have the score in front of me. I did listen to the game on the radio and kind of followed along, but I didn't put the score down, so I don't remember what the score was. But they did indeed lose, and it wasn't what it was. The Knicks kind of hung in a little bit. They again without KP, they're pretty much shorthanded without him. That's exactly what they are. They're completely shorthanded without him. He means so much to the Knicks on the offensive side and on the defensive side. So the Knicks, struggled a lot also with turnovers. They had, I believe, 23 turnovers in the game, and Jarrett Jack, the Knicks starting point guard, had 6 of those. And you can't have that kind of play out of your point guard position. Tim Hardaway Jr. though did have a double in the game. I believe at 28 points and 11 boards. So that's a good sign. Hopefully, when KP comes back, he can. He can also, have picked his game up to this level, and they can kind of become a good 1-2 punch for the Knicks. So looking forward to better days from the Knicks. They're now sitting at 6-5 on the season, and this was also the second game in a back-to-back. So might have had a little bit something to do with the loss as well. But again, early in the season, not too concerned about a loss on the road as well. So. Also, the Knicks defense as well. I know I'm always talking about this. I talked about this on the previous vlogs. They gotta start to step it up a little bit more on the defensive side. The Magic shot 54% from the field last night. I believe, I believe high 40% behind the 3-point line. So that's something the Knicks got to clean up. The perimeter defense has got to pick it up, and they've got to it's got to get better if the Knicks are going to be successful and make a playoff run this year. So looking forward to the rest of the year. Again, not too concerned though. All right, okay, MLB and the Mets. Yesterday, I talked a little bit about a bat the Mets should pick up in Lorenzo Cain. Sticking to that, though I've been reading some rumors and things of that nature, saying that he could possibly be signed by the San Francisco Giants, and then that will be a good pickup for them. They'd be getting a really good player, but I think he looked better in orange and blue. Hopefully the Mets will excuse me. Hopefully the Mets will extend an offer out to him. The Kansas City Royals, they're in a pretty precarious position with regard to their free agency. They have 3 of their key players that are 3 key players, including Kane, that are going to be free agents, and they're not going to be able to keep all three of them. One is Eric Hosmer, the other one is Mike Moustakas. So, and Moustakas is another guy who, third baseman, who, if the Mets can't get Kane and the Royals can't keep him, perhaps he could come in and play the hot corner. So, that's another option, for the Mets. So we'll see how that goes. It's real early. The winter meetings haven't even happened yet. So a lot's going to come out in the next month or so with regard to Major League Baseball free agency, and I'm going to touch a little bit more on that as we go forward. Now, as far as relief pitching, that was one of the things I wanted to touch on. The Mets did re-sign Jerry Blevins, I believe, to a 1-year deal. So bringing him back will indeed help. Help. A little bit of stability with regard to the bullpen. A guy I wanted to talk about. Who had a pretty rough year last year. That was our closer, Jairus Familia. I'm looking forward to a bounce back year from him. A lot of people are wondering, should the Mets try to trade him? Should they try to, bring in another guy? I don't see too many closers out there via free agency. I think Wade Davis is out there. But he had a good year. He had good years with Kansas City, especially the year they won the World Series. But I don't really think I don't think that's an upgrade, really. From Familia when Familia is on, because Familia is a guy who's gonna pretty much pitch. He's going to give you, he's a 50 save guy. He's had 50 saves in his season. Maybe he's overworked. I don't know, but I think last year was a bit of an aberration. Given all the, given the personal stuff that went on with them, and then and I'm sure that had a lot to do with his performance as well. So I'm looking forward to a bounce back year. He's gonna be a key component to hopefully a resurgence by the Mets. If he doesn't perform well, I don't see this team going far. I really don't see it. So he's gotta be on in order for the Mets to be successful next year. And so hopefully he'll make that change. If not, maybe the Mets can work out a trade. Look at some guys who might be on the trading block. I haven't really looked too much into that, to see like which teams will possibly be willing to move their closer. But good closers are hard to find. It's almost like a good quarterback in the NFL. I mean, when you get a guy, you want to hold on to him, as long as you can, as long as he's performing. And I don't see too many teams willing to trade their closer, at this stage, because again, once you get a guy who's on, you want to hold on to him. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully the Mets will make the right choice. And again, I'll expound more on this as the weeks and months go along, and we get a little bit more information and insight as to what's going on with regard to free agency, trades, and so on and so forth. All right, so finally going to wrap it up with my Sabres. Didn't play last night, but they do have a game on Friday against the Florida Panthers. Sabres are going to come into the game at 5-8-2. Panthers at 4-8-2. So these are two bottom teams in the Atlantic Division and in the Eastern Conference. And the Sabres need to win this game, period, point blank. They need to, they had a good win the other night against a depleted, I shouldn't say depleted, but against a Washington team that was, coming off multiple game nights in a row. The Sabres got to show that, they're not cellar dwellers by any means. They need to start to get you start to move up in the standings a little bit, get to that 500 mark, and I think it starts here Friday night. The Sabres gotta use that 1-2 with Eichel and Kane. Robin Leonard, he needs to again have a solid game in net, and hopefully the Sabres can come out with a victory. I'll talk a little bit more about that on Saturday's. On Saturday's vlog, give a recap of the game, talk about what I heard, because more than likely I'll be listening to it on the radio because I'll be at work. But we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes Friday night for the Sabres, and yes, hopefully they can come out with a victory. All right, guys, that's it for me today. I want to thank you again for watching. If you like the videos, please subscribe to my channel. Also, please like the videos, spread the word. I love talking sports, so if you guys have anything to say about any of the topics I've mentioned, or any comments, any suggestions, anything, I welcome them with open arms. Just send me a message in the message box, and look forward to seeing you guys next time. So take care, have a good day, and peace.